Hi, my name is Zayla and I'm 21 years old.
My name is Emily.
Hello, my name is Joseph.
This is my bullying story.
A little adventure with bullying. Threatened and being told I didn't have friends and that told I was ugly, all those harsh comments, that all started in 6th grade.
Middle school and high school, I realized that I wasn't treated the same as the prettier, skinnier girls.
7th and 8th grade. 7th and 8th grade, it carried on to Facebook. People sent me messages and telling me all these rude comments. I was told that I should go die.
People get sick, can't afford to get well, betrayed by a nation who promised us to help.
I was called rude names and like cow, pig, elephant, fatso, Twinkie, you know, anything that would be fat.
It's a sick, sad world.
It got progressively worse in high school, and no one really did anything to stop it.
I can't really say if adults did anything about it. Sometimes they saw what happened and didn't do anything about it, but most of the time I didn't go to them because I already knew at that age that adults didn't do anything about bullying. It was hopeless. I gave off the impression that it didn't affect me at all, and it really did.
She'd say something snide and I just kind of ignore it like I didn't really care. But how I would cope with my bullying and everything is I self-harmed. I self-harmed for probably about 2 years in high school and another year outside of high school. And the only way I ever felt good was taking a knife to my skin. I am 21 now and I have finally been able to stop self-harm. I've been clean from it for about 2 years. But because of the cause of being bullied, I have slight social anxiety and depression.
It's a little maybe hard to understand what I went through.
That was a really terrible feeling for me. And after that, I ran out and ran to my friend and just cried.
Based on their position in society, their orientation, their race, and their religion, and are convinced that they are not important enough to be in this world. It's sad that many have to harm themselves just to feel a sense of relief.
Hi, my name is Madison, and I've been asked a lot throughout the course of throughout the course of making this project, why I'm making it. Well, I'm making an anti-bullying video because of my personal experiences with bullying and my friends who have personal experiences with bullying. It's a real issue, and I feel like in schools they do say, oh, bullying's bad, we need to stop doing that, we don't need to do that, and stuff like that, but it never gets through to people. I'm a very different person. And some people respect that, but most people don't. I was at a Dowling football game with my friends, and a friend and I branched off to go get something to eat. We were going down the bleachers, and there was a kid. He took one look at me and called me a Satan worshiper. And I stopped dead in my tracks for about a minute, and then I kept walking, and I found the rest of my group of friends, and I just cried. At school, I've been, like, random kids come up to me, why are you goth? How do I be goth like you? Just randomly, and it hurts. I've also been cyberbullied. There's a website, it's called Ask FM, and people can ask you questions and ask you anonymous questions. It was about 2 summers ago, and someone from my school went on there anonymously And they started typing out all these rude comments like, you're stupid, you've never made honor roll, you're a disappointment, you're a failure. And then like calling me a Satan worshiper and like I'm a freak and stuff like that. And other things that probably are not safe to be in this video. But, I mean, and it wouldn't stop. They did it for hours, it seemed like. And I was on Skype with 3 of my other friends, and I was crying. I couldn't help it. I couldn't stop it. They wouldn't stop. And it just got to be a lot. And I was just sitting there crying. And I told my parents about it. And then also on my Twitter, I get bullied just about at least once a week because of the type of music that I listen to. People call me a scene, emo, goth, weirdo, freak, and they call me stupid and a bunch of other things and stereotypes once again. And they don't stop either. There was one time when about 10 people were attacking me at the same time just because of the music that I liked. And I actually had to have 2 of my other friends log into my Twitter and block these people because I could not block them as fast as the interactions were coming in. I would look and there would be interactions, then it would go back up to the top, 36 new interactions. Not even kidding. That was a real thing that happened to me. And it wouldn't stop. And no one tried to make it stop, except for when my friends got on there and blocked them. One time I went to Target with my mom, and I walked in there and I was with her and my little brother. I was putting him in the cart, and there was a fully grown man, and he was with a friend. And he looked at me and then looked at his friend and said, "She scares me." And then he looked dead at me and loudly said, "You scare me." And I'm just like, because I'm different. I've never been physically bullied, but verbally and mentally it's very hard because physical wounds, they do heal, but mental or verbal, you remember that forever. And it does leave scars. Kids get depressed all the time, and then there's self-harm. Adolescent suicide rates are at a high right now because of bullying. And there was a boy, and he lived in my state, and he was bullied because of his sexual orientation. And he was on the news one day, and he had committed suicide because no one would stop the bullying and no one would help him. And I feel like this is a real-life thing that people really need to buckle down on and find out more about it, and people need to open their eyes because bullying happens every day. And I feel like no one really does anything to stop it. And it is a real issue that needs to be addressed. In schools, we don't focus enough on the side effects of bullying. Like we say, oh, it hurts their feelings. No. Yeah, it hurts your feelings, but if it goes on long enough, and some kids don't tell anybody about it because, I mean, you might have heard from another girl in my video, Emily, we've learned that teachers don't do anything about it, and that's a very sick thing to think about, that kids have learned that if they tell the teachers, it won't matter because they won't do anything. But I feel like in schools, we don't focus enough on the harsh side effects, like, because we censor it from kids. Making this video, I do hope that at least one person that watches it will actually be impacted by it and tell others about it, and actually the point gets across because it needs to be addressed. That's all I can say. And I do hope that it resonates with people and they understand it. So that's my bullying story.